axonal fibers. The axons, the nerve fibers coming out from the neurons, okay, and carrying the nerve impulses away from the neuron body, nerve cell body, right? So white matter of the cerebrum. So it is consisting of three parts or three types. One is the association fiber, one is the commissural fiber, and other is projection fiber. So among these three, first we will see the association fiber, which are also known as the arcuate fibers. Why arcuate fiber? Because the shape of the bundles of the association fiber look like a making curvature from one part of the same single cerebral hemisphere to other part of the same hemisphere. Okay, means association between the different region of the similar cerebral hemisphere or single cerebral hemisphere, and they are again depending on the size divided into short and the long association fibers. So short association fibers, these fibers connect adjacent gyri to one another. Okay, means they are neighbor to each other, the immediate neighbor. And the long association fiber, they connect the gyri which are separated from each other with intervening other gyres. So example of all those are the uncinate fasciculus, the cingulum, the superior longitudinal fasciculus, inferior longitudinal fasciculus, okay, and fronto-occipital fasciculus. Means all these fibers are confined to single cerebral hemisphere. Means it is not crossing one cerebral hemisphere to reach the other cerebral hemisphere. Only in single cerebral hemisphere. Got it? You can see how the association fibers are shaped. They are making curvature. Therefore, they are also known as the arcuate fibers. You can see in above the upper part, the short association fibers connecting adjacent gyri. Long ones are traveling the long distance, okay, to connect the gyrus present at distance, not near to each other, but present at distance. And in the box there on your left side, there is a real specimen of cerebral hemisphere cut, and you can see how the fiber, the white matter, which is forming the core of the cerebrum. Fine. Outer surfaces, which are the gyri, are having the cortical area, that is your gray matter, and the white matter beneath those gray matter is present. So these are the direction of the association fibers. You can see the uncinate fasciculus. You can see on the cusp. Okay, the inferior longitudinal fasciculus. You can see here. I will point it. So association fiber long superior longitudinal fasciculus from frontal to occipital lobe, traveling whole of the parietal area. Then from temporal to occipital, the inferior longitudinal fasciculus. The cingulate fasciculus, you can see in the cingulate, along the cingulate gyrus, they are traveling, okay, and uncinate fasciculus near the uncal area, uncus gyrus of the tentorial part of the inferior surface. Got it? So all these are the association fibers, means they are confined to single cerebral hemisphere. They are not attached, connecting the parts of two cerebral hemisphere, only in single cerebral hemisphere. Got it? Now the commissural fiber. So as we understand, by means of the commissure means connecting or crossing. Commissural means it is crossing. यहाँ पे क्रॉस करने के लिए क्या है, सिमिलर पार्ट को दोनों साइड पे सेरिब्रल हेमिस्फीयर, one part of the cerebral hemisphere connected by the similar part on its counter or contralateral side, means on the opposite cerebral hemisphere. So those similar part onto cerebral hemisphere are connected through the fibers known as commissural fibers. So the examples are the corpus callosum, anterior commissure, posterior commissure, the commissure of the fornix, the habenular commissure, and the hypothalamic commissure. So most of the cerebral hemisphere part are connected through corpus callosum. Remaining are by from point 2 to 3, 2 to 6. These are the anterior commissure, okay? The posterior commissure, and the commissure of the fornix. And habenular commissure and posterior commissure are present above and below the pineal stalk. Pineal means pineal gland is present on the posterior aspect of the dancephalon. Means pineal gland is also known as the epiphysis cerebri, is the part of the epithalamus. So this is present on the dorsal aspect of the caudal part of the dancephalon. So above and below there are the commissural fibers known as the posterior commissure and habenular commissure. Habenular is above and below posterior commissure. So those parts are connected by these commissural fibers. The commissure of the fornix. The fornix is the part of the limbic system. Okay. Hypothalamic commissure, obviously, so it is connecting the hypothalamus of two sides. Okay. So corpus callosum we'll see. So already we have seen the corpus callosum present on the medial surface or the medial aspect of the cerebral hemisphere. So it connected to cerebral hemisphere. So we'll see what are the parts of the corpus callosum. So from anterior to posterior. So anterior most is the genu, and it turns downward in pointed part, that is known as the rostrum, and it turns upward in the form of the trunk, and that trunk is posteriorly widening in the form of the splenium. Got it? So first comes the rostrum, then it turns anteriorly and upward in the form of genu, and genu is continuing at the trunk, and then splenium. The fibers of the corpus callosum are the rostrum in the rostral part, then forceps minor in anterior part, forceps major in the posterior part, and the tapetum. So we'll see in the diagram later on. So functional significance is that the corpus callosum helping in the coordinating the activities of two hemisphere. Means अगर एक cerebral hemisphere में क्या activity हो रही है for a similar body part, it should be known to the contralateral side also. So these are the parts of the corpus callosum. So on your left side it is the anterior part, and on your right side it is posterior aspect. So you can see how the rostrum is there, then genu, trunk, and the splenium. I will point here. Rostrum, genu, trunk, splenium. Below the corpus callosum, here you can see this part known as, it is named as the septum pellucidum. So what is the septum pellucidum? This is the thin lamina of the gray matter vertically present in mid-sagittal plane between two lateral ventricles, right and the left ventricle देखा तुमने, ठीक है? तो उनके बीच का जो partition रहता है, that is known as the septum pellucidum. Means ये जो corpus callosum है, this corpus callosum is forming the part of the roof of the lateral ventricle also. Okay, and below these two lateral ventricles are separated by the septum pellucidum. इसलिए इसका नाम septum दिया है. Got it? And below the septum pellucidum, you can see this is the fornix. So this fornix is just present on the medial upper part of the thalamus here, or the third ventricle you can see. So this fornix is extending from posterior to anterior from the hippocampal formation. And here you can see on the tip of this rostrum, posterior to that, there is the anterior commissure, one of the commissural fibers of the brain. Okay, and this rostrum is extending downward on each medial surface of the cerebral hemisphere, in the form of the lamina terminalis. So when I will show you the specimen for the LCD of the cerebral hemisphere, I will show you all the parts, the lamina terminalis, rostrum, anterior hemisphere, all will be seen there. Got it? So we'll move on the next slide. So this is transverse section. Here shown. This is the anterior aspect, posterior aspect, and lateral aspect. So anteriorly, the white matter fibers are through the corpus callosum, anterior part of the corpus callosum, through the genu. The fibers are connecting the frontal poles, known as the forceps minor, and posteriorly the occipital parts are connected through the forceps major, through the splenium. Get it? And the rest. This is corona radiata. This corona radiata also sending the parts, the fiber through the trunk of the body of the corpus callosum. But most of these corona radiata are descending downward and converging near between the thalamus and the caudate nucleus or lentiform nucleus to form the internal capsule. अभी corona radiata क्या हो देख लो. So you can see these are the cortex of the cerebrum, cerebral cortex, that is gray matter area. So the gray matters are sending the fibers or receiving the fibers, means centripetal or corticopetal or corticofugal fibers. Okay, so these fibers coming or going out of the cerebral hemisphere through this part, that is white matter core. So these fibers converging or diverging, converging here and diverging like this. So these are known as the corona radiata. So these fibers going toward the cerebral cortex or coming out of the cerebral cortex are forming a pattern like this, converging and diverging. So these are known as the corona radiata. So frontal part of the corona radiata, parietal part, occipital part, and temporal part will be there. So remember this corona radiata. So most of the fibers of the corona radiata are going downward, converging and forming the internal capsule in the diencephalon, between the basal ganglia part and the diencephalon, right? So we'll move on the next slide. Now the projection fiber. So till now we have seen the commissural fibers, association fibers. Now the projection fibers, most important. So these are the corticopetal or corticofugal fibers coming inside the brain from the outside or going from the brain to the outside of the cranial cavity. So these projection fibers are connecting the cerebral cortex to other parts of the neuraxis. Neuraxis means central nervous system. So brain is involving the cerebral hemisphere even it can involve the brain stem, hand brain and spinal cord. So examples are the corona radiata, as I have shown you in previous diagram, previous slide, and internal capsule. So these are the examples of the projection fibers. They are having both the corticofugal and corticopetal fibers. So internal capsule कैसा रहता है? We'll see. So internal capsule is a large band of fibers which is actually converging of the corona radiata, which is located in promedial part of the cerebral hemisphere. So in horizontal section of the brain, it appears V-shaped with its concavity directed laterally and its pointed part, V का pointed part directed medially. So internal capsule contains the fibers going to and coming from the cerebral cortex, means both corticopetal and corticofugal fibers. So it can be compared to a narrow gate where the fibers are densely crowded, means converged, right? So any small lesion of this capsule can give rise to a widespread derangement of the body, means large part of the body can be affected even if a small part of that internal capsule area is get affected due to any reason, maybe due to hemorrhage or due to the ischemia, any reason. So internal capsule is again divided. If we see in the horizontal section, the anterior limb जो वी शेप फॉर्म होता है उसका एंटीरियर लिम्ब, पोस्टीरियर लिम्ब और बीच का जो बेंडिंग है पॉइंट ऑफ द वी, दैट इज जेनु. एंड अबव दैट, sorry, below that the sublentiform part, and posterior to the posterior limb also there is the retrolentiform part of the internal capsule. You can see here V shape जो तुमको दिख रहा है इधर, anterior limb, posterior limb, and in middle the genu. Genu means bending. So this is internal capsule. Now we'll see the relation. In the upper part it is the anterior aspect, and in the lower part of diagram it is showing posterior aspect. On your right side it is showing the lateral aspect, and on your left side it is showing medial aspect. I will point here and show you the anterior limb, genu, posterior limb, and this is the sublentiform and retrolentiform is considered here. So medial to the or anteromedial to the anterior limb is head of the caudate nucleus, which is the part of basal ganglia, and medially on the posterior limb it is the thalamus, part of the diencephalon, and on the lateral side the part of the basal ganglia, which is including putamen and globus pallidus, both inner and outer segment. And most outer lateral to this globus pallidus or putamen, that is lentiform nucleus, it is external capsule. Internal capsule बड़ा सा है तो उसका बड़ा सा part है, that is external capsule. So this is also containing some fibers from the corona radiata or going to the corona radiata. Then lateral to that, a thin layer of the gray matter area, that is known as the claustrum. And outer to that there will be again a white matter part, thin layer of that is known as the extreme capsule. Beyond that there will be the insula, the cortex, the insular cortex. Got it? So just you see how this, the part of the basal ganglia are related to the internal capsule. In the village, almost all the fibers of the corona radiata area of the part of cerebral hemisphere. Got it? Again, we'll move to the next slide. So we can see the fibers of the various part of internal capsule, how they are coming. Again, I will use the pointer. You see the superior thalamic radiation, okay, through the thalamus, through the sublentiform part of the internal capsule going toward the temporal lobe. Okay. You are seeing the thalamus. It is connecting to the cerebral cortex through its four peduncle, that is superior, inferior, and anterior posterior thalamic radiation from its thalamus. You see how related to the anterior thalamic radiation through the anterior limb of the internal capsule, the anterior thalamic radiation to the temporal lobe through sublentiform part of the internal capsule, the posterior thalamic radiation going toward the occipital lobe through the retrolentiform part of the internal capsule, and the superior thalamic radiation to genu and the posterior limb of the internal capsule. You see how the thalamic radiation are using the internal capsule, the part of the cerebral cortex, right? So why the thalamic radiation is very important? Because thalamus, mainly the ventral tire of the lateral group of the thalamic nuclei, are the relay center for the ascending fibers of the brain. Got it? Whichever sensory part is there in our body, they are getting relayed on the, maybe terminating on the thalamus or relaying before ascending toward the particular area, maybe somatosensory or other part of the brain. Got it? So we'll move on the next slide. So internal capsule. So we'll see one by one. So motor fibers are there, which may be the corticopontines from the cerebral cortex to the pontine nucleus. So these are the frontopontine and paratopontine. So if you remember, I told you in the midbrain, okay, the cerebral peduncle consisting from the anterior to posterior, the cerebral crus, substantia nigra, and tegmentum. The cerebral crus is again divided into three parts. Okay, so corticopontine and occipital and occipitopontine fibers are passing through those cerebral crus. Okay, and the intermediate portion of that cerebral crus is transmitting the corticobulbar and corticospinal fibers. Okay, so all these fibers, that is corticopontine, occipitopontine, and temporopontine, all these are passing through the cerebral crus. Before that, they are entering into the internal capsule. Then pyramidal fibers are including the corticonuclear and corticospinal. Corticonuclear means through the brain stem, the nuclei present in the cranial nerve nuclei present in the brain stem, and corticospinal means the anterior motor horn. The corticospinal fibers are terminating on the anterior horn cells of the spinal cord. And extrapyramidal fibers, those descending fibers of the cerebral hemisphere, which are not going inside to terminate or synaptic to the motor nuclei of the brainstem or spinal cord, but there are some other nuclei which are helping or coordinating the various movement of the body. Okay, so these are the extrapyramidal fibers. The sensory fiber, ascending fibers. So these are the all the thalamic radiation, as I told you. Okay, so these are the anterior, superior, inferior, and posterior thalamic radiation. We already seen in the previous slides about all these radiation of the fiber to the various part of the cerebral cortex. So you can see here various ascending, descending tracts which are passing through the internal capsule. Okay, so you can refer all this from your books. Okay, so depending on the area which is getting affected, okay, and main applied aspect of the internal capsule is depending on the arterial supply. So arterial supply may be hampered due to the blockage. The ischemia can happen even due to the hemorrhage or due to thromboembolism. मान लो अगर तुम्हारे आर्टरी में या फिर any part of the central part artery or carotid artery or branch of carotid artery which is supplying the brain, if there is any thrombus formation is there due to the atherosclerosis, so they can break and can lodge to the smaller artery of the brain. Okay, and it can lead to the blockage, leading to the ischemia and finally infarction. Or those arteries are so thin walled that the high blood pressure can lead to the burst out of those blood vessels and leading to the hemorrhage, cerebral hemorrhage in that. Okay, so these are the applied aspect. So depending on the artery involved, the part of the internal capsule will decide that which part of the body will get affected. Got it? So these are the representations of the various fibers on the internal capsule. You can see the frontopontine fibers, which are motor, are present in the anterior limb. So I try to point out all those divisions of the fibers. So frontopontine fibers, and in between them the anterior thalamic radiation, which is ascending and descending body parts are present in the anterior limb. Near the genu you can see the corticonuclear fibers, which is motor, again for head and neck control, that is for the cranial nerve nuclei. Got it? Then in the posterior you can see the corticospinal fibers for the lower parts of the body below the neck, upper limb, the trunk, and the lower limb. And this is for the corticocerebral fiber, that is from cortex to the red nucleus. Then this posterior part, that is the trulentiform, it is having the parieto-pontine and occipito-pontine fibers, which are motor, and the ascending fibers, means sensory fibers from the medial and the lateral geniculate body. So these are the parts of the metathalamus. That is the posterior aspect of the entire of thalamus. So this medial geniculate body sends the fibers through the retrolentiform part of the internal capsule to the auditory radiation sensory area on the transverse temporal lobe of the hassle, means upper temporal lobe is having the transverse temporal gyrus, where the area 41-42 of the abdomen. So it gets auditory sensory fibers from the medial geniculate body, and the lateral geniculate body of the metathalamus will send its different fiber to the retrolentiform nucleus through the optic radiation to the area 17 of the occipital lobe. Got it? Means lateral geniculate body is to the visual pathway, and medial geniculate body is related to auditory pathway. So all these special sense, that is auditory, are connected to or related to the retrolentiform part of the renal capsule. Got it? The next slide, the artery supply of the internal capsule, you can see. I will just enumerate, it is all in this diagram. So you can see, if you are tended to the blood supply of the brain, so this is the artery circulus or circle of Willis. You can see these two arteries known as the internal carotid artery from posterior side, basilar artery part to vertebral artery, part of the vertebral artery. The arteries are uniting such a way they are forming a circle. There are in the circle of Willis connection. Fine. Almost all parts of the on each side. This anterior cerebral artery from this one to the anterior limb. Then is supplied from medial cerebral artery directly from the limb, and also from the posterior artery, communicating artery. Parts of the anterior posterior this capsule. Got it? So any artery can get from low or to high blood pressure, segment okay, so most of the hemiplegic conditions are occurring due to affection of this. Mostly because there are the many cases of hemiplegia that the person who has woken up in the morning and found that one of the side of his body is not working, it is having the weakness. This sudden rise in the blood pressure happens in the morning after waking up, okay, due to some internal corticosteroidal and other factors involved. So those can lead to this type of the condition. Or during the more stressful condition, sudden tension or any stressful condition can happen. Otherwise, it is in the morning, and mostly in person affected having on the medication of the blood pressure or hypertension, which are having the poor compliance with their medication, or who are alcoholic, because if they are sleeping in night having the heavy dose of the alcohol and waking up in the morning, so there will be a sudden rise in the blood pressure leading to this type of the hemiplegia or hemiparesis. Got it? So these are the various part of the internal capsule supplied by circle of Willis. To applied aspect, that lesions of the internal capsule are usually vascular. So due to involvement of the medial and lateral strad branches of the middle cerebral artery, they give rise to the hemiplegia on the opposite half of the body. Okay? And it is an upper motor neuron type of the paralysis. And the larger and lateral strad artery is called, yes, which is very important, the Charcot artery of the cerebral hemorrhage. If the larger lateral strad artery is there. This one. Okay, here affected, then it can lead to the one side for whole of the upper and the lower limb can get affected on the opposite side. And why the opposite side affected? If you remember in medulla oblongata, I have told you that in the lower part of the pyramid, am I audible to you all? Okay. So how the contralateral side is affected? मतलब right side का capsule, how is it is controlling the opposite side? How the fibers are crossing? Where are the fibers are crossing? They crossing on the lower part of the medulla oblongata. If you remember, I have shown you the decushion of the pyramidal fibers, pyramidal tract fiber on the lower part of the anterior median fissure of the medulla oblongata. Okay, so most of the fibers are means about 80% are crossing anteriorly and some 20% posteriorly, and remaining part on in the spinal cord are crossing to the opposite side, contralateral side, one or two spinal segment above. That is the reason. And the sensory fibers, the sensory tract fibers are crossing each other in pons and the midbrain part. Okay, so that is the reason that one side of the cerebral hemisphere is controlling the contralateral side, but it is opposite in cerebellum. The cerebellum is controlling or coordinating the ipsilateral side of the body, coordinating the movement of ipsilateral side of the body. Got it? So you can see if the pyramidal tract is affected, so this is the posture after the hemiplegia. So you can see the left side hemiplegia. The elbow is flexed, okay, and all the fingers are close to each other, and you can see the hip joint is flexed, yeah, and knee joint is also flexed, semi-flexed, and there is the plantar flexion. The foot, you can see the foot is going downward, means towards the sole, that is the plantar flexion. So you can see the human status is the most highly evolved animal so far as due to the largest size of the cerebrum, especially the frontal. तो गाइस प्लीज यहाँ पे जो लार्जेस्ट साइज ऑफ सेरिब्रम बहुत सारे बुक्स में लिखे, तो दैट डजंट मैटर. हाथी को और बाकी बड़े बड़े जानवर को भी बहुत बड़ा बड़ा सेरिब्रम, बट तो गॉट यू माय पॉइंट. Rather than being the larger size of the brain, it is important how the neurons are synapsing to each other, in what manner. That is very important. Okay. The cerebrum comprises of the three borders: supromedial, infralateral, and the medial. The surfaces are the supralateral, medial, and the inferior. Pole I have told you, the frontal, occipital, temporal poles, and the lobes. I have shown you all the divisions of the lobes. That is frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital, and their gata of each lobe. Okay. And the cerebrum is receiving the sensation from the contralateral side. Control the movement of the contralateral side. Same thing. Okay. And the fuse structures are controlled by both the side. So depending, जैसे जैसे भी cranial nerve nuclei वगैरह आएंगे, तो I will tell you. and body is represented upside down, and only the face and area of the localization is represented straight. Means when you go to the motor cortex and the sensory cortex, that is pre the central circle, the central and the post central gyrus, means motor and the sensory cortex, primary motor and primary sensory cortex. When you draw the diagrams of the body on this, controlled by those particular part of the cortex, ठीक है, the primary sensory or motor cortex, then it is inverted. ठीक है, फेस और हेड छोड़ के बोला, जो ट्रंक रहेगा नीचे रहेगा, लोअर लिम अपर लिम उसके नीचे रहेगा, देन बॉडी, देन अपर लिम, एंड बॉल ब्लडर कंट्रोल मैंने कहाँ बताया था, मीडियल साइड में, द पैरासेंट्रल लोब्यूल, इफ यू रिमेंबर. So there is the control. So that is known as the homunculus. That particular patterns of showing the representation of the body parts on that primary motor or the sensory cortex. So that is known as the homunculus. Okay. So that is saying about the homunculus of the motor cortex or the sensory cortex, right? So here internal capsule is most typical example of the projection fibers. Okay. So internal capsule can be asked for SAQ, draw the diagram of the internal capsule or enumerate the parts or enumerate the fibers running through that. So you have to just practice those diagrams, then you will understand which fibers are passing through which part of the internal capsule. Got it? And posterior limb is supplied by the lateral and medial striate artery. These are the end arteries. That's very important. कैसा रहता है, if any artery means posterior type of the striate artery which is supplying the internal capsule, if they are get affected, means if they are blocked, then the ischemia will be 100% because there is no anastomosis. No anastomosis means they are the end arteries. So that is the reason. वहाँ पे अगर कुछ भी vascular compromise होता है, then the parts of the body controlled by those will be affected. So motor neuron means upper motor neurons means the central, the higher center means from the say, any part of the brain. So those neurons are known as the upper motor neuron, controlling the motor function. Okay, and the lower motor neurons means the anterior horn cells of the spinal cord. So they are known as the lower motor neuron. So guys, so this was all about the white matters of the brain. So any doubt or query you can ask. Okay, thank you very much.